You are capable of winning races. But you can't do it alone. It's time to elevate your game to the next level with RMR Driving Academy. Richard Murtaugh is the longest-running setup builder on iRacing with nearly a decade of experience. With a combined 13,000 rating across 2 accounts, Murtaugh has helped more than 20 drivers advance to the World of Outlaws Pro Series. Log on to rmrdrivingacademy.com or find them on Facebook and Instagram.
Well, a good Tuesday evening, everybody. Good to be back on Tuesdays for sure. A little different program for you tonight on the Digital Sim Sports Network, the Dirt Racing Network. IndyCar Racing. Milwaukee Mile 100. Smaller field than we expected. Nonetheless, scheduled to go, so it is going to go. I am going to do my level best to to give you guys the best coverage that I possibly can. I am very uncomfortable sitting in this chair right now. I have some muscle and tendon damage in my right leg, and it just happened last Thursday morning, and so I'm still not out of the woods for the pain, but we're waiting to get a approval to go to a specialist and see what we can do about repairing me. So I'm going to sit here tonight and do as much as I can. I'm going to sit here tomorrow night and try to do everything that I can to give everybody a great show. But tonight, it's all about the Indy cars. 100 laps. These guys are about ready to get to qualifying. That's the fastest car in the room right now. They're the old Haviland. Number 31 of Jacob Watson. Hello, Miss Jane. I saw you in the chat a little while ago. We had all of our opening stuff that we have to do, so we get through that. We get ready to go racing. These guys can do 100 laps. They have a limited amount of fuel in the car, so they will be doing at least 2 pit stops. We will see how that plays out. We know a lot of guys like to play a lot of strategy. Go as hard as they can for as long as they can, and then try to make a pit stop. Do that again, and then rinse and repeat for a third try. Some guys are going to stretch it as far as they can, so that last run they've got the freshest tires, the lightest amount of fuel, and really try to go a little harder and see if they can't make up everything that they've lost by staying out on older tires and everything else. But with a small field, I think we're going to see this thing get stretched out pretty fast, and we may just go green from one end to the other. See how it goes. Right now, Michael Everett on the racetrack. Very familiar. IndyCar fans, you guys know that. You know that paint scheme. That's old Al Unser Jr. paint from back in the day. And he'll be rocking that in here this evening. Hello, Miss Deb. The Tiny Dancer fans here with us tonight. And the Adam Vitti fans. Right now, Michael Everett, the quickest at 23:09. Larry Moody jumps up to second quick. Here's Garrett Boyd in the 21 car. Let's go get a look. Moody coming down the backstretch. And off into 3 and 4 for his second lap. Everett going to streak across the line. He did not improve. Actually mirrored his time. 23:10 for his time. Moody went a little slower. Boyd goes to the top. 22:72 on lap 1. Scott King now, 22:62 for Tiny Dancer. He was pretty wide there in 1 and 2 on his second lap. Adam Vitti is just now rolling onto the speedway, so we got plenty of time. We'll watch the end of Boyd's second lap. We'll see if he can retake the top spot. He did not. He slowed down considerably, and so did Mr. Boyd. So Scott Thomason has not taken the time yet. Neither has the fastest guy in the room, Jacob Watson. So we will see if Mr. Watson comes out. Right now, Adam Vitti about to complete lap number 1. Hello, Mr. Bill. Car got extremely wide at the exit of 4 right there. Didn't slow him down a bit. 22:62. The thousandths of the second is what the difference between he and Scott King is right now. Second lap looks a little slower. This looks a little slower to me. He really missed turn 4. Be surprised if this isn't like a 22:90. And it was a 22:80. So a little slower. Watson now rolling out. At the very end, just kind of, I think, wanted to know what he needed to put up, and he is going to come out here and see if he can grab the top spot in the qualifying session. He was fastest multiple times, had to take back the fastest spot in practice tonight. Piece of the rumble strip getting into 1, but the exit of 2 was pretty clean. Smoothly through the center of 3 and 4. This is going to be a pretty good lap here. I don't know if it was 62 in it, but that's a pretty good looking lap. Lap number 1, 22:48. My goodness, that's screaming. That's nearly a quarter of a second. He could have shut it down. He doesn't even need to make the second lap. And he's definitely slower on this lap. He's been wide at both ends of the track. So he is definitely a lot slower. That time by. Yeah. Must have nicked the fence somewhere in that second lap because that second lap, no time. But 22:48. What a speedy lap for Mr. Watson. He's been improving on Wednesday nights in the Truck Series week upon week upon week. He's very close. Got a podium last week in the series. So we'll see if he can use the momentum. Come here to Milwaukee in the IndyCar. Maybe he leaves here tonight with a couple of tickets for the Snap-on Milwaukee 250 that is coming up. Here, and I think that's next weekend. I have the link, and I had it open. I accidentally closed that, so we're going to have to go back to it. That's the slowest loading web page on the planet. These guys are getting ready for 100 laps. Yeah, the Milwaukee Mile 250 coming up. August 23rd, 24th, right there at Fairgrounds. Let's go take a look at our starting lineup. Jacob Watson and Adam Vinny, the 31 and 11 on the front row. We're used to seeing those guys every Wednesday night racing each other. And then Tiny Dancer Scott King, the 118, row 2 to the inside, and he's next to G-Body. Garrett Boyd in the 21. That is our second row starters. Michael Everett, the 8, Larry Moody, the 73 in the third row, and Scott Thomason. Scheduled to be on the back. I think something happened to Thomas's car, some kind of mechanical issue, and he is not going to make it out. So we're going to do 6 cars for 100 laps. Like I said, I think they'll go flag to flag, and at 22 seconds, you're doing nearly 3 laps a minute. This is going to be a short race. 45 minutes tops. Should not have much in the way of incidents unless somebody just absolutely missteps. Waxed himself. Pace car is going to dive to the infield. Down pit road on the front stretch. The green flag is going to come out. We're underway. Milwaukee Mile 100 here. The Digital Sim Sports Network, the Dirt Racing Network, and Scott King Designs. All getting together to bring this to you. Battle's going to stay at the front. Up the front backstretch and into 3 and 4. They're side by side. Who's going to have the advantage? It looks like Watson is going to lead our first lap. Little slide of the nose there from Vinny. He tried to tuck it back in on that front stretch. Couldn't do it. This time Watson may come out and shut the door. He does not. He leaves it open on the backstretch. They'll get side by side for lap number 2. Once again, Watson will get to the line first, but Vinny is right there. Garrett Boyd is tucked in behind these 2 drivers. Watson just can't get completely clear. He needs enough room just to slide in front. This time I think he's got it. He'll come all the way to the fence. Now the top 3 are nose to tail. 1, 2, 3. Scott King sitting in the 4th spot back there. And Everett and Moody looking like they're going to go at it for the final 2 spots here. But everybody staying within 1.5 seconds of each other. And I'm pretty sure this battle at the front is nowhere near over. Now Garrett Boyd's going to take a peek. Oh, contact. We're going to have a crash, and that's going to do it. No caution. Everybody's facing forward, but Adam Vinny's car. Heavy, 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 heavy damage. I think both drivers got really tight on the exit. And caution. Yeah, I think both drivers just got very, very tight. And oh, yeah, that little wiggle right there. Boyd's car just got a little out of shape. The exit of 4. I don't think he was trying to run alongside. I think he was trying to keep some space between cars, and it just darted to the right on him. So Adam Vinny going to bring that thing down. We'll see if he can get repairs made and get back out here. I think he and Scott King are the only 2 drivers actually from Wisconsin in this field. Everybody else would have to make a long trek to go use the tickets. Mindy, did you have your earphones on? Because I bet there was something that was said right there. Looks like they're going to get the 11 car finished. They're going to get fixed. I mean, they're going to get it fixed to get back out there. So a quick repair available to these guys. Going to get back up there. Scott King will go to the point. Larry Moody to second. Watson is up to third as he came out of pits first. Then Vinny, Everett, Boyd drops to the back, and I think that was a choice for the contact, just to move to the back and make it a little more social. With this limited field of cars, this was a necessary caution, and they'll get everybody squared away and put back in good positions, and everybody will just kind of talk it out, shake hands, and go on. But we're going to get a restart. It's tough racing. Those guys were right there. You had 3 really good drivers right at the front right there. And they were racing hard for positions. Everybody's on the same setup. They're all on the same fuel load. They can change their tires. I think there's still some adjustment where you can move some of the wings a little bit, brake bias, but these old Indy cars, some of the better driving cars on the service, and this is a retired Indy car. This is the DW12. It's not even the new Indy car. Didn't want guys to have to buy anything for this, but we're going to get a restart, and Scott King is going to grab the point. Watson started right behind him, shoots to second around Moody. Now Vinny's trapped in behind Larry Moody. Moody's third. Here comes Garrett Boyd to the high side. He saw what happened on the initial start, that outside was very good. And he is going to make his run at trying to overtake Adam Vinny on the high side. Not sure he's going to get there. He got wide in the middle of 2. He will end up grabbing the spot. So a big run out of 2, and now he's going to be bottled up behind Moody and King, who go after it, because Watson has already taken the lead. Side by side, 2 wide, 2 deep is where they're at behind your leader. And this is over a second behind. We did not think we'd see this competitive of racing. Oh, Larry Moody's going to lose the nose of the car and then lose the back end. That was all just Moody got down there. I think he just tried to get the car to rotate a little right there. It got a little free with him. And we're going to see if he can get that thing into the pits. And he will. He'll go in. They'll fix the car. He'll get back out. If we have another caution, they'll wave him around as many times as they can to get him back on the lead. But it's 1.4 seconds from Jacob Watson. Now to Scott King, who rides second. Then Adam Vinny got back around Boyd. I think Boyd just got pushed wide a little bit ago when that rear end stepped out from Moody, and it opened the door, and Vinny took advantage, and I would have too. So put Adam back in third. Boyd is fourth. Michael Everett. They're all right there. Top 5 are right there. Or the second through fifth, I guess, is right there. This is all about 1.8 seconds behind your leader. Clean air, no battles. He is just running away. And now Adam Vinny with a pass on Scott King. He's got to make up nearly 2 seconds on the leader. We'll see. We'll watch the lap times. He was about a tenth and a half slower the last time, but he was making a pass. We'll see what the lap times look like this time. By 23.4 for your leader and 23.4 for your second place driver. So the identical lap times, and that's why it stays at 1.9 seconds. Scott King, Garrett Boyd, Michael Everett are falling behind. Larry Moody's car finally fixed. He's going to be returning to the racetrack. He's going to be almost 5 laps down. He gets rolling up the backstretch, and your leader's going through turns 1 and 2 right now. Lap times, about a half a tenth quicker for Vinny that time by. Watson. Only not been out front for a couple of laps, and that was why Scott King led him under caution. Just right after the restart, he took the lead right back. 1.4 seconds this time. Boyd up to third. Lap times matching the leaders. He just needs some magic on pit road. Here comes Everett. Scott King out there on old tires. He's the only car that hasn't been into pits yet. And I get the strategy. Everybody else came in. He just wanted to be at the front, see if he could do something with clean air. This time the gap closing down. It's 1 1/4 seconds. Within a tenth on the lap times. Actually, he was just a touch slower. Adam Vinny a little slower, and Garrett Boyd a couple of tenths slower. He lost some time on that last lap. Go for a ride with the leader. You can see Larry Moody off in the distance down there. About a straightaway ahead. Gap closing down. 41 and a 37 the last time by. So he's got it down under a second. Any more mistakes from your leader, and he is going to be in the throngs of a battle. Garrett Boyd. Car slowing down drastically. He's lost a couple of tenths since the last time we checked on him. Watson's still out front, kind of equalizing a little there at 0.8 of a second. This lap time's so close, half a tenth. One way or the other, half a tenth. Vinny should be able to pick the draft up on these straightaways now. And these cars do draft on the straightaways. They do punch a little hole in the air. That time by just a teeny bit. A couple of hundredths was the difference. A lot chopped off on that last lap. Lap times were way different, but the gap, only another tenth. The lap times didn't show that. Vinny's reeling him in. Garrett Boyd back to matching lap times with your leaders, and he is still 3.7 seconds behind the leader, so he is not closing the gap at all. Here is Michael Everett in that 4th spot. His lap time's about a 1/10.5 slower than your leaders currently. Back to the front, and it's getting pretty tight now. It's under half a second. They are catching the lap car of Larry Moody. Opened up just a little there. It was about 4/10. It's about a half a second exactly now. We're reaching for lap number 30. We'll see maybe somebody like a Scott King get ready to start pitting between laps 30 and 35 probably. It looks like he's about 8 seconds, and we're going to have a caution. 3rd place car of Garrett Boyd is going to have a major problem. Oh, he got too much car. Yeah, he got too much car down on the apron. I don't think he's going to hit anything. He's just going to flat spot the tires. So we'll slow things down. We'll definitely see guys on pit road. Everybody's going to get to come to pit road. I'm sure Larry Moody's going to get laps back. See if we couldn't get him all the way back to the lead lap. In and out of pit road. Let's see how they do. There goes Watson. Here comes Vinny. Everett will get out 3rd. Scotty King just now getting to his pit stall. So is Garrett Boyd. King will get out 1st. Boyd 2nd in that group. So 4th and 5th. And then Larry Moody is still trying to get some laps back. Down to 1 lap off of the pace. As we'll look and see, do the guys get the 1 to go? I do believe the lights might still be on. No, they are not. Doesn't see anything flashing now.
All right, man. Like it back on the pace car. We're not.
And we are waiting for everybody to get caught up. The whole field wasn't quite ready, and I think Larry Moody still got 1 more lap he needs to get back. It looks like he will be back on the lead lap. Or, you know, still a lap down, but he's showing. He's showing on the right lap on my live relative. He's just not showing on my pylon relative. And he catches up to the back of the field. There's your official catch-up scoring. We'll restart this thing. Looks like the beginning of lap number 28. So a long ways to go. Still 72 laps. Watson still the control car. Vinny on the outside of the front. So it looks like we're going to have a very similar start to our initial start. Second row, not quite the same, but very close.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag. Great start for Watson. Man, he couldn't have timed that any better. He hit the gas right as the green flag was displayed. And he will streak to the front and make Vinny go on the chase again. Garrett Boyd is going to go after Adam Vinny right away, wasting no time. And Vinny's going to have the advantage on the high line for just a few laps while them tires come up to temperature. You got to tippy-toe your exits on the bottom. Little wiggle out of Everett's car. Quick catch to it. He only lost about 1/10 of a second. Everybody flirts with disaster coming out of turn number 2 and turn number 4. They are right out to the wall. Adam Vinny. Whoa, little nudgy nudge. He'll move to the high side. I think they might have touched just a tiny bit. Coming down that front stretch. This time Vinny just bails it off into the corner. And now we've got a new leader. The 11 car, Adam Vinny, is out in front. Boyd sits in third. And then it's almost a full second back to Michael Everett in that 4th spot. And Scott King is tucked behind him. Larry Moody went back to pit road. He's already a couple of laps down again. Oh, and it looks like Moody spun the car trying to get it on pit road. He'll get it into the pits and we will stay green. So is this past 1/3 distance? Watson off of 4 headlong into the barrier. And Watson's just going to try to get that. Well, I thought he was going to try to get that thing. There, he just went for a ride right there. Car just gets loose with him. And that's a big hit. Moody's rolling back onto the track. He's going to be several laps down, about 5. Might be 6 by the time he gets completely back up to speed, but Watson's still on pit road. Moody's off of 2, but the leaders, well, they're coming through 1 and 2. Michael Everett up to 3rd. Scott King is now 4th. The gap between 1st and 2nd, 1.5 seconds. Adam Vinny to the point a few laps ago, and now the gap is opening up. Actually, the last lap, it looked like maybe it closed a little, but it is just over a second, and it is going to stay pretty consistent here. Boyd cannot figure out a little more consistency in his laps. He's moving around between the 4.0 and the 5.0 range, and he's going to have to be a little more consistent than that, I think, to run down the leader. Michael Everett, well, he's got himself about 7-8 car lengths between he and Scott King. It's about 0.4 of a second. A good race there for third and fourth. Larry Moody once again to the pits. That car's still not right, and he is going to go in and try to get some more adjustments made. That time, Garrett Boyd, 1/10 of a second quicker than your leader. Having to adjust in my chair a little, folks, to get some more comfort here, so bear with me. We're going to be at halfway here pretty doggone quick. It's staying exactly 1.0 to 1.1 seconds. This time a little bit of an opening. Jumps out to 1.1 for Vinny over Boyd. Watson back on track, 3 laps down. 73 of Larry Moody. I think they have called it a day in the 73 camp. And they are going to... Ow! Oh. And they are going to put that car into the trailer and get it ready to roll out of here at their earliest convenience. Gap growing 1.4 seconds now. And that's down to 1.1. A bad set of corners for Mr. Vinny. He had it out there a ways, and now it's going to creep back down just a little bit. Pit stops. That's what it's going to come down to in these guys. Lap 27 the last time we were in. I'm going to say somewhere around 60 to 65. You want to get to that number so that you don't have to pit another time. That time, 21 car, Garrett Boyd missed every bit of turns 3 and 4. And he'll be nearly a quarter second slower, and the gap will grow from 1.15 all the way back to 1.4. Everett still got company. Still got Scotty King tucked right in behind him. That time Scotty King with a big miss in the middle of turns 3 and 4. Maybe tried to carry too much speed, but Jacob Watson will close in. He's going to make a pass here. Little fresher tires. He's got a few laps fresher. About 7 or 8 laps less on those tires than the rest of these guys. He needs a caution. Get himself back on the lead lap. I think that's going to be hard to do with only 5 cars out here, though, and they're so spread out. Gap closed a little bit that time. It was almost 1/10 of a second quicker for Garrett Boyd. Watch your top 3. You can see their speeds and their relative live gap. Slowly, the gap is shrinking. But we just crossed the halfway point. A lot of time left, and there's pit stops. Making a pit stop here under green is an amazing challenge. You can see drivers have picked up 1 and 2 spots respectively. Vinny started second. He leads. Boyd was fourth. At the start, he is up to second. And then Michael Everett was fifth and up to second. Or up to third, I'm sorry. Gap just growing. We're a little ways from pit stops here. I think you want to go at least 10 more laps just to get in that window. But I think some of these guys want to try to run this thing about as long as they can be on super fresh tires at the end. That leader will probably dictate what happens, though. And I think that was partially covered by our logos, but I forgot to turn the logos off. Here comes Garrett Boyd. He is about 44 laps shy of the finish. And I don't know, maybe the car will do it. Maybe it won't. Maybe he just reaches the window and says, I got to get into pits and get something changed on this car. We'll watch as Adam Vinny is going to do the exact same 1 lap later. Car's going to drop off the jacks. Michael Everett now has the lead. He's slowing to go to pit road. Scott King scoots by, and Scott King makes a pass heading into pit road. Here's Boyd, and Vinny got out in front of him. .3 seconds, so he really didn't lose much in the way of time getting on and off pit road. King and Everett rolling out, and Scott King will take over P3. Michael Everett to P4. Watson's still out there. He's in P5, and he is 2 laps down right now. He's going to have to make a pit stop before too long. Probably somewhere where he can make it to the end, about lap 66, 67. Good arc into the corner. Left side's right to the curb. The car just so tight right there. Trying to use that curbing to get that car to rotate a little, and it just, the nose was not going to turn. Michael Everett lost a bunch of distance to Scott King getting in and out of the pits. King made a great move. Stayed in it a little longer, drove it further around the corner, passed on the outside, and got into pit road first. It'll put him on the podium for sure. Coming around, going to be a 37 laps remaining. when we get around this time. All these guys are racing for is a pair of tickets to next weekend's IndyCar race at the Milwaukee Mile, courtesy of the Wisconsin State Fair Board and our good buddy at Scott King Design, Scott King. Oh, big slide of the nose for Garrett Boyd. Turn 2 was not Mr. Boyd's friend the last time by. Doesn't show it on the stopwatch. Surely looked like that car just took off. The laps will just tick away. We're spread so far out now. If you don't have a selfie and someone runs up on you, I don't think we're getting another caution. Go take a look at Tiny Dancer Scott King. He is just getting into turns 1 and 2. The leader's at the other end of the track. He is 14.5 seconds behind those two at the front. There goes Watson to pit road. 2 laps down when he made the hard left. Going to lose another lap for sure. And he does. He falls to 3 laps down. He could use the caution to get back on the lead lap with these fresh tires while the other guys have to pit. And he might be able to do something with some of these leaders. Well, we're 30 laps remaining. This time by Vinny with a 1.15 second lead. They are just absolute mirrors on lap times. 4.5s and 4.7s. Scotty King still in third. Michael Everett is still in fourth. That gap has grown to about 3.5 seconds. And then Watson got back out there. He's 3 laps down, but he got in between cars, and he's going to run fourth on the track. But he is 5th overall. Down to 1 second. It's getting close as we get into the closing laps. We'll be down to 25 to go in no time flat. While we're doing this, let me remind you about tomorrow night. Midwest Truck Series. They'll be at Kentucky Speedway. One of my personal favorites in the truck. And we'll see if it's a 3-for-3 show for Corey Blevins. He's won the last 2. So they all go do a battle. Up in Kentucky. "25 laps to go, this time by 1.1 seconds. Adam Vinny out in front of Garrett Boyd. Now, I don't know if these guys can make it the rest of the way on fuel or not. It's going to be close. I don't think they would have pitted when they did unless they were either out of fuel or could make it. We may see pit stops with less than 10 to go here. I don't know if I'm going to do that. I might just split that up and try to 50-50 that thing. Go as hard as I could possibly go the rest of this run and try to make all that up and keep going hard the next one, even though I know he's going to have an advantage with lap count. I may make up the time on the track when he has to go into pit. We may come out and be able to flip-flop positions, and I might be able to hold him off in some dirty air. Like I said, I don't know. It's a tough call. I just know you can't continue to follow somebody and follow in their tire tracks and expect to pass them, especially on old tires. Under a second, he got it down to about 0.8 of a second. And now Vinny just turns it up just a tiny bit. 23.6 and a 23.7, and that's why we're almost back to full second gap here. Scott King and Michael Everett, mirror times on laps. They stay just about 2.8 to 3.0 seconds apart, running in third and fourth. One makes up a 10th. And then the next lap, the other one gets it back up here at the front. That 7 to 0.8 of a second is kind of equaled out a little bit. The smallest mistake by either driver, and you're losing all kinds of time. And that time pretty close to even. On the lap times, we got cars right up in front. And that's Michael Everett getting into 3 and 4, and he is not that far ahead of your leaders. There they come out of turn 4. It's about half a straightaway. So it's right in the neighborhood of 1.8 to 2.3 seconds, the gap. From being a lapped car, now it's under 0.7 of a second. It's under 0.6 of a second up the backstretch. Boyd finding some rhythm. Closing in the end of this one. It's 18 laps remaining. Remember, these two battled within the first 5 laps side by side. And then really have not gotten back to any kind of a battle on track since that point. Adam Vinny's going to be the first to peel off. He'll go to pit road with 17 laps remaining. Garrett Boyd streaks on by. Watch Vinny's pit stop, and then we'll go watch because I'm sure Boyd is coming in right behind this. Down he goes and away. And Garrett Boyd coming in the other end of the pits as Mr. Vinny goes out. He hits his marks. The car goes up. He drops off to Jack. And here comes Adam Vinny out of turn number 4. He is going to streak by Boyd. Oh, my. That is a huge exchange. That is 1.8 seconds. He picked up almost a second. Scott King went to the point, but he will go in. He'll relinquish that lead right here, even before we get to the stripe. Vinny goes by. Boyd goes by. Michael Everett is who Mr. King will be racing. He's just rolling out of the pits. Everett went a lap down in the exchange of pit stops with the 2 leaders. So I think Scott King will be the only car in the top 3 that's still on the lead lap, and he's just barely in front. He's going to go a lap down as well. There he comes off of 2, and there goes Vinny by, coming around to 13 to go. 2 seconds, the difference. And Boyd got it down to nearly nothing when Vinny dumped off a few laps ago to go to the pits. Boyd was right on top of him, couldn't go in with him, went around an extra lap. He lost a full second. He had it down to about under a half second, about 4/10, I believe. And it is 1.9 seconds now. So he lost a second and a half in the pits, getting in and out. Scott King in between these two. A lap, 1 to 2 laps difference on the tires isn't going to make a big difference. And I don't think that Mr. King is going to get up there and bother Mr. Vinny and help Boyd close that gap. So it'll be 10 to go. We put 90 laps in the books already. And Scotty King in the third spot, sandwiched between your two leaders. Small mistake getting on and off pit road, I think, somehow. A little slow in, a little slow out, one or the other, and I think that's the difference that you're going to see when we talk to Garrett Boyd as Scott King moves out of the way. He is going to let Boyd, well, he's not going to let him go by. He is going to stay right there. But Boyd should get the clear into 1 and 2, and now he is gone. He's got just under 8 laps to try to make up a 1.8 seconds. Adam Vinny's got no one in front of him. No one at all. Seven to go. Laps can't take off quick enough for him. Back up to nearly 2 seconds. Wave lap this time. 5 remaining. Milwaukee Mile 100. And as long as Vinny didn't short himself on fuel, we've seen him do that. He don't make any mistakes between here and the end. I think he is going to have a chance to go too. The Wisconsin State Fairgrounds and watch the IndyCar race next weekend. 4 times around. It's down to 1.65. It's going to get close. I just think there's not enough time for Boyd to make up the lap, the distance that he needs to make up in this amount of laps. And even if he gets there, that's one thing, but passing somebody is a completely different story. 1.5 seconds. He's been quicker, been considerably quicker the last couple of laps. Just not enough time. It'll be 2 to go this time. He's got to be nearly a second a lap faster. Got to be 0.8 of a second per lap faster and have the clearing to get around and get away. Two to go from the flag stand. .4. White flag this time. Only a miracle, I think, is going to save Adam Vinny. Or I mean Garrett Boyd, not Adam Vinny. Adam Vinny's he's in the catbird seat. He's just got to keep it pointed the right way. It's 1.3, just under, down to 1.25. Fastest laps of the race being run by Garrett Boyd, but they're too little too late. Adam Vinny wins at Milwaukee. Boyd will come home second, and Scott King will be our final podium finisher ever. Michael Everett, a little ways back, a lap down, just like Mr. King, but he will finish fourth. And then Jacob Watson, who, problems for him, he got the car way out of shape, and the thing stayed green, and he just could not make up the laps. 3 laps down. Fifth, Moody and Thomason rounding out the field. We're going to go around. And we're going to try to talk to all of our drivers in the top 3 very quickly before we get out of here tonight. All right, let's get them in here. Mr. King, do you have a copy?
Yes, sir, Roger.
Well, long race, a lot of laps, a couple of instances, but the 118 car going to come home third tonight.
Hey, so that's the key. We need a low car count and a little bit of luck,
Yeah,
and we'll park this baby on the podium.
that's right. Well, I mean, 100 laps and, racing for the tickets to go to the race next weekend. You're right there. I mean, there's only a couple of you that are in Wisconsin, so, you needed to be one of those 2 guys if you were going to utilize this thing.
Yeah, it's cool. So, yeah, the race this weekend, so I thought it'd be kind of fun to do a little something. And, yeah, we got a pair of tickets to give away. Sounds like Adam can't make it. So, yeah, we'll think of something, and we'll give something cool for Adam for winning. And, yeah, it was good. It was fun. Wish we would have had a few more guys, but that's been the summer. It's been busy. So I feel like we've been running since before July. So we were supposed to do this earlier before the fair, and then we just got busy, and we're still busy, but we wanted to, run it for the guys that could make it, and so we did, and appreciate you streaming it, and hopefully it was a good show.
Well, it was a lot of fun to do it. We always like to get different kinds of racing on the channel. Overall, I think, the postponement, I don't know how many cars that might have cut out, how many cars, you lost because of it, but things happen, and, if the guys wanted to do it, they probably would have been here. But maybe if this continues on, maybe this becomes an annual tradition, and there's a whole lot more planning and a whole lot more time to get it set up and make it go off in a different fashion next time, and we get a few more cars.
Yeah, I think a little more planning on my part would have helped, but yeah, we're just busy guy. But it was fun. So the pitting was cool. We had a couple, 3 stops. So I think if we'd had more guys, that would have made it a little more hairy. But yeah, overall it was fun. It's a fun car to drive, and we had a good group of guys, Adam and Cameron. These guys, it was a lot of fun racing them with Boyd as well. So yeah, good times all around.
All right, man. Well, thanks for hosting it up. It was a lot of fun to cover it, and I'll be talking to you real soon.
All right, thanks, guys. Hopefully we'll see everyone on Sunday.
Scott King, everybody, he finishes third, and now he battles in and out weekly with the guy that finished in front of him, and you got close there, Mr. Boyd. Something on the pit stop, I think, fouled everything up.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what happened. I lost a lot of time. I feel like if that wouldn't have happened, it would have been pretty good.
Just seemed like you had reeled him in right before you guys pitted for the final time there with just, a handful of laps to go, about 15, 17 laps. You had it down under half a second. He peels off. You just didn't have time to react to him peeling off, did you?
Yeah, I was going to try to go in at the same time he did, but I kind of caught him really quick on the exit of the corner, so I didn't want to run him over or have a big lockup like I already did earlier in the race. So sorry, Adam. I ran you over. It was my bad.
Well, a second and a half in the pits, and it was just insurmountable. The lap car gets between you. I'm sure there was a little dirty air, but all in all, not a bad run. Not a car that we normally see you in, and not a car that we normally see here on the network. But was it a lot of fun running this track in this car tonight?
Oh yeah, the Indy. I've ran a lot of hosted races with this car, and it's always fun. Oval or road course, they can be a little snappy on the throttle, but other than that, they're a lot of fun to drive, especially here.
Will they do it again next year? Are you going to be back and see if you can take the top spot?
Let's hope so.
All right, man. Some shout-outs real quick before we let you go.
I just got to give a shout out to Scotty for putting this deal on. We didn't have a really good turnout, but it is what it is. We still had fun and made it as fun as we could. So big shout out to him, and then you for broadcasting, Roger.
All right, man. Congrats on the run, and I will look forward to seeing you tomorrow night over in the trucks when you're battling against that guy in the 11 car again.
Yeah, we're gonna have to catch that rabbit a little faster.
All right, man. Good luck tomorrow night. Garrett Boyd finishing in second, and now a guy that's very familiar up here in the booth at the end of the night with me. He's a lot of podiums tonight. He is going to stand on top of it. Unfortunately, we hear through the rumor mill that you are not going to be able to make use of the tickets, Mr. Vinny.
Yeah, some things came up. I'm unfortunately not going to be able to, so I think we're going to give it away to some lucky fan. Otherwise, we'll figure something out.
Yeah, well, Scotty will come up with something. He always does. But the IndyCar at Milwaukee, and I know that you've run Milwaukee on the network several times in different cars, but the IndyCar, how much fun was it coming out here tonight in this car at this track and going 100 laps?
It was super cool. Like, this was my first actual race in an IndyCar. Lot of fun, a lot of horsepower. It's just like a big go-kart. But yeah, it was definitely a blast. Love this track. This was my home track, so it's a lot of fun to race here. It's very it's legendary.
Well, it looked like you guys were having a lot of fun. You made up a lot of time on the final pit stop because Boyd had reeled you in. And he was there. You dove off. I think you caught him off guard. He was probably going to try to pit when you pitted and keep it a good battle. But you got a second and a half. How in the world did you get on and off pit road that much faster than that guy?
I really don't know. I tried to keep him out on the track. So coming in, I tried to wait as long as possible to really put the brakes on it. And these cars slow down way quick, even without brakes. Just downshifting alone, the power just gets down on them. So it's awesome. So yeah, I think that was key. Just I got in hot and heavy, and just got into the pit just right. Got the tires to the tire changers. I thought it was going to be a slow pit stop, but it actually ended up being a decent one, and just hammered off of pit road and got around there quick. I think getting around there, a lot of people were worried about spinning out. I said I got to make up as much time as possible so I can save some tire at the end just in case he catches me, and that's what I did. I think that's where it happened, definitely on and off pit road.
Well, an awesome run tonight, man. You're going to pick up the win, and then we get to see you right back in the trucks tomorrow night. Give me some shouts, some thank yous before we let you go.
Yeah, hopefully we could turn it around from last week. I'm still bummed about it. Still a little heated under the helmet, but what can you do? I made a mistake, and that happens. But I appreciate you, Roger, and the Dirt Racing Network, DSRL, DSSN, Scotty King for putting this on, Tiny Dancer, fantastic guy. Thanks to the Milwaukee Mile, Beard Wisconsin, Next Level Litigation support, Velocity Race Wraps for the IndyCar Race Wrap. And just everybody that came out and watched, everyone that participated in this. I know it was no easy task, and not a lot of us drive these, so to break out of the shell and do this, it was a lot of fun. So I appreciate everybody all around.
All right, man. Thanks for chatting with us. Congrats on the win. I'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow night.
Sounds good. Have a good night, Roger.
Adam Vinny picking up the win once again on the Digital Sim Sports Network, this time in the IndyCar. You can put him in just about anything, and he's going to do pretty well. So congrats to him. Congrats to all the guys. Thanks to them for coming out and running. I know it was a small field. It's a lot of laps, but it did go by pretty quickly for us, and it was a lot of fun. So, there was a say. Our whole screen just went black. We lost the camera. We'll be back tomorrow night about 8:45 Eastern, give or take a couple of minutes, for the Midwest Truck Series. They'll be at Kentucky. Make sure you tune in for that. That is a fun show, and those guys do a lot of stuff. They handicap the top 4 in points and move them all the way to the very back of the field. Last week it was 28 trucks. So they moved them all the way to the back, and one of them still come up to win, and 3 of the 4 still finish in the top 5. So they have some very talented drivers there. Make sure you tune in. Say hi in the chat. If we don't see you again, please come back as quickly as you can. But thank you for being here. Without you, there's no reason for us to do this. Without all the great leagues giving us fantastic racing like we saw again here tonight, there's nothing for us to cover. High fives and pats on the back, everybody. Keep the rough side facing down.